Hey everyone, today we found a clogged culvert over here at this beaver swamp. Water levels don't look that elevated at the moment, but there's a really big culvert pipe here. Wow, blocked with many feet of mud, and that's very fresh material. Look at that, there's fresh grass in there, there's fresh beaver prints in that mud. This is a really heavy duty grate. Look at this thing. Wow. Very heavy. Large stone around the culvert. They even have fabric around the culvert. Haven't really seen that on the logging roads before. Take a look at this really big plunge pool. Got a little bit of excavator damage. See, the tooth of the excavator went right through it. Probably trying to locate it during a snowstorm when this was completely buried. We're in an area now that can get snow way over your head. Look at that teeny flow. It also looks like there might be muskrat poop in there. Somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Big snake. Look at that big snake right there. All right, we're gonna go over to this grate. This is an interesting grate. Somebody's already pulled up a good amount of them. It'll be easier to unclog if we lift up all these holes right here that are down in the mud. So where am I gonna put you guys to look at this? How deep does this go in? It goes in probably very sudden, I'm assuming. All right, adjusting tripod so we can get in here and get this water level dropped. This is an interesting grate. I've never seen one like this. So this will be fun. It looks like we can lift up all these poles to make the job a bit easier. See if we can lift these up to make this a bit easier to unclog. One. That noise is ear-piercing. I wonder why some are shorter than others. All right, everyone, got it open. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot easier to unclog because of this type of grate. Once the dam's out of here, we can lower it back down. Let me show you the inside real quick before we start unclogging. Yeah, look, it's just a flat wall. There's barely any reinforcement due to this, but we'll still be careful not to be under here in case these slip. Look inside. We should be able to get this thing flowing pretty quickly. All right, get camera number 2 running. All right, everyone, we're gonna get camera number 2 running. We'll make a noise for alignment. All right, let's get this thing open. Might be a little easier if I get myself in there. We'll see. The mosquitoes are getting excited, and the black flies. Oh, the beavers even use rocks in it. You can hear them tumbling. We're hitting excavator damage. We've got a stick jammed in there. Yeah, excavator damage. Can't go any lower in some spots. Still trying to deteriorate the beaver dam foundation just a tad. Get a little from this side. Oh, it's not excavator damage, it's the bottom of this. It's like a square. And we got it completely open. Let's lower this stuff back down. But first, let me get you a view of inside. Look at this. Here's what the inside looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Let's lower the grate back down. Everyone, look at this. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's a froglet. Half frog, half tadpole. Cool. Surprised they're already out. The weather's been really cool up here. Today's high is only in the upper 50s or so, or around 14 degrees Celsius. It's lower away now. everyone, this grading system is awesome. The beavers don't add really any structure to their dam because of it. And you can easily pull it out unlike a normal grate. This one's just super long for some reason. They may have reused parts off a bigger one. That's why some of them have such large poles. All right, wash my hands off. Big high boots are still pretty clean. Got some rust on me, but going pretty well. Take a look at that. Here's what the grate looked like before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. All right, let's get this thing open. All right, everyone, doing well. View from above, here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like after. Nice. Other side of the road, wow, compared to before. And here's what it looks like after. Wow, so much current coming out into the plunge pool. Wow, look, there's pieces of the beaver dam wheel ripping apart. Totally awesome. Nice. This drainage ditch is filling up a little bit. Here's what the inside of the pipe looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. We started as a tiny little trickle, and now it's blasting like crazy. Even that little bit of poop is gone. Didn't really flood the banks as much as I thought. It has wide open space. Nice. And look at this. Conveniently right here, you see these poles laying on the ground? That's likely before they had that grate, or even now, that helps them not damage the culvert when they unclog it. They can grab that with the excavator, and even before the grate, if the dam was in the middle of the pipe, they'd take those telephone poles, ram them back and forth until it breaks. Now this, going all the way over to those woods, all the way around here, large area, gonna take maybe even a few hours to really notice any kind of difference. But this grading system is genius. Beavers will have that thing clogged back up in probably one night if there's a couple of them. But this super simple option, this is pretty cool. Lift them up, it removes all structure of the dam because the beavers are relying on this for structure. That's genius. I've never seen or used one of these grates before. That was pretty cool. All right, everyone, I'm gonna show you some cool extra footage of the area now. But until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day. Sky is beautiful today. The black flies found me. All right, everyone, here's about an hour later. Still going pretty well. And look at all the swamp suds it's making. That's from organic material, rotten tree debris, rotting feces. When it's stirred up in the water, agitated, it makes suds. All right, everyone. We just went down another road because on satellite maps, we look at areas with big beaver ponds. They leave a big scar of dead forest. That's how you know beavers are typically an issue. And then the road acts as a flat line. Then there's a little trickling stream leaving. Beavers often flood up here. So we came down this road today and there was nowhere to turn around. So we had to turn the truck around after disconnecting the trailer. We had to manually pick up the tongue of the trailer, turn it around. It was a little more challenging because the trailer was, its wheels were in the mud. If this was thick mud, we probably wouldn't have turned it around. Probably would have had to use the truck to turn a tongue around, which would have been worse. But that's why we have slats of wood for the little trailer's wheel to run on in case we had to spin it around like that. Didn't have to do that. It was light enough to just pick it up. The trailer's about 3,000 pounds, but the weight's very evenly put on the wheels and rear, so we can pick the tongue up with only about 400 pounds of force. So here's a culvert, extremely rusted out. There's the coupling. Look at that, completely destroyed. It likely caused a sinkhole in the road, so they just removed it for safety reasons. Now it looks like there's nothing. I wasn't gonna take the risk going through this. Definitely not with a trailer. Yeah. Someone drove through this, but those ruts could be old. This could have collapsed since those ruts were there. It's been rained on quite a bit, you can tell. Yeah. There is a culvert still in here, so maybe that was an extension they pulled out. But yeah, someone ruined part of their plastic junk skid plate in here. But yep, this was a deeper beaver pond. You can see by the scar, it was probably 4 feet deeper throughout this entire area. There's beaver dams right here. So yeah, by the evidence, it looks like the beavers applied enough force to the road that the whole thing washed out at some point. That's why this dam probably exists, because they tried to dam the entire stream valley themselves. So they always build against the road because the road is the easiest spot to build a pond. They naturally have to build a whole dam across the valley, but since humans build a road, all they got to do is plug the little exit and it's a dam. Roads are not meant to be dams, and they often will fail. This whole thing looks like it's pushed out at some point recently, and that's why the beavers had to build this dam. Then they relocated the beaver, built the road back, and now the road eventually went to crap. Quite literally. No pun intended, actually. So, this looks like Canada geese poop. And what's that look like? It's a big paw print for a coyote. Could be a coyote. Could also be a wolf, since we're very far north up in Canada. Supposedly there's wolves here. Well, interesting. This down here also looks like it used to be a beaver pond. You can tell that was flooded at some point also. We're traveling around the Canadian wilderness doing some filming of nature. We've seen some black bears, a bunch of moose, other creatures, and when we come out here we bring lots of gasoline cans, a whole ton of them. That's why we need the trailer for extra supplies, since we plan on spending weeks at a time without visiting towns and very rural areas. But this area here is kind of messed up. I think we're going to add a couple ribbons just so someone doesn't accidentally hit that in the middle of the night. The logging company had already put ribbons down there, but we added a few more just to give people early warning, since that eventually becomes a dead end. Anyone would be coming from this side. That might save someone a big headache in the middle of the night. All right, everyone, back in the vehicle. Good thing it's not raining. Just looking at the ruts in this road, it would turn to like a concrete consistency very quickly. Today, just a little bit of mud. It's sticking to the tires like peanut butter, so it doesn't matter how aggressive your tires are. My tires have tread that's almost an inch deep, but it caked them full of this mud, so it's the same as having really nothing. But once I pick up speed, we're gonna hear it flinging everywhere. It's gonna make a mess. Let's see what else we find down these roads today. Been a good morning. Haven't seen a single car out on these roads. Only a couple minutes down the road, it looks like we got active beavers. Now, I'll never understand why exactly a beaver might do this. They built this gigantic 5-foot tall dam in front of the pipe when they could have easily blocked the pipe with a fraction of the effort. We'll never understand why a beaver might do that, but it's a very good thing when a beaver does this because there's very little pressure against the roadway. So the logging company has really no reason to destroy it. It's not blocking capacity at all. During a storm, it can go over. During a storm, there's also the rare chance it can fail, block the pipe, and go over the road. But it looks like maybe during storms it goes over, but that would not be beaver related. That would be undersize related. So in this case, really no issue with the beavers. They're doing good. And you can tell they're active. There's some very fresh material there. Check this out, everyone. It's beautiful. We got daisies right here by the road. Whole bunch of flooded area. At one point, the beavers had this flooded up to the road, and this was a gigantic lake all the way to the evergreens you see back there. Sometime in the past couple years, they had it pretty flooded. You see all the little trees that started growing right here. This whole line of them is dead. Look at that. It's dead, but it's the middle of summer. It looks like spring, though.